Italy's Prime Minister has rejected claims he's a puppet made by a prominent politician in the European Parliament. The accusation was flung at Giuseppe Conte after he delivered a key speech in Strasbourg. Well, let's go live to our Europe correspondent Peter Oliver for more on this. Peter, what exactly was this spat about?
It was quite the debut speech from the Italian Prime Minister addressing the European Parliament in Strasbourg. Giuseppe Conte outlined the future of the Union as Italy sees it and those, well, challenges to achieving goals that Rome wants to achieve. His speech, it caused a bit of consternation in the chamber. In fact, Guy Verhofstadt, senior parliamentarian, certainly no shrinking violet himself, went as far as to call the Italian PM a puppet.
The European project seems to have lost its momentum. We have seen the transfer of powers increasingly from countries to the Union.
My question for you, Mr. Conte, is how much longer will you continue to be the puppet on Salvini and Di Maio's strings?
Europe, faced with an economic crisis without precedent, has withdrawn fearfully into proceduralism, and it has progressively lost contact with its people.
It is so painful for me to see Italy's political degeneration.
Progressively, this policy has lost its representative justification and become an oligarchic system where the real needs of society are ignored.
It is your government that is openly spiteful against other member states who are members of our European family. It is the Italian government that has stopped the European Union from being united against Maduro. And you know why? It's come under pressure from the Kremlin, under pressure from Putin. That is the truth.
Well, Giuseppe Conte did have a few voices of support in the chamber. They came from British MEPs who've been backing Brexit.
Mr. Conte, the determination of your government to resist the privileged power axis of Merkel and Macron, and indeed to resist the pressures of the European Union elite on show here today. You deserve applause for that.
The European Union top brass and Rome have been going back and forward for a while now. Big arguments last year over the budget that was put forward by the Italian government. It included things like tax breaks for low and middle income earners, a lowering of the retirement age, and a multi-billion euro universal income plan. All of the good stuff. Big problem is Italy is broke. Its debt stands at 131% of GDP. Trying to put forward a budget that provided these things, well, it's just against the rules of being part of the European Union. It's against the financial restrictions that are put in place there. Rome eventually did cave in to Brussels over this budget and adopted something that was within the remit that they were given, but they're going to come back and back for more. We've heard from the Deputy Prime Minister, Matteo Salvini, who's also the Interior Minister of Italy. He described Mr. Verhofstadt's comments as shameful, and he said that at the upcoming European elections, those that have supported Brussels bureaucracy, well, they may well find themselves ousted by the people at the ballot box. But spare a thought, though, for some of those at the upper echelons of the European Union structure. At the moment, they've got Poland and Hungary certainly not playing the game the way they would like it to be played in Brussels. Italy, I think we can definitely say, are in that group as well. And with all of that, there's a little thing called Brexit going on as well.